Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where we're checking out a video titled Countries Are Struggling to Contain Inflation, but Switzerland, here's why. This is a 1-year-old video, so this is about 2024 or 2023, depending on when it was released. I can see the release date somewhere over here. I think it's like 2023. So, shocking, I'd say, how Switzerland could be handling inflation better than everybody else. So let me know how you guys are doing over there, man. But thank you for watching this video. Without further ado, let's check how Switzerland's economy is doing, sustainably differently. I don't think anything I just said made any sense, but I wanted let's find out how Switzerland's economy is sustaining its strength throughout the freaking inflation, man. I ignore whatever sustainability, ignore all that I said earlier before the common sense portion. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video. Please do like and subscribe. Any recommendation, you can leave those in the comment section down below, or probably click that link in the pinned comment section, and I'll check out that video as soon as possible.
Rising costs and higher interest rates. It's hard to talk about the economy these days without thinking of one word: inflation. But as many countries across the globe battle sky-high inflation, here in Switzerland, a small mountainous nation in Western Europe, the rise in prices has been far less dramatic. Have you felt the effects of price rises and inflation over the past year?
Not that much, to be honest.
It's been all right.
Most of the things is okay.
You think Switzerland somehow got it a bit more right than maybe other places?
I think so.
Inflation in Switzerland hit a 29-year high of 3.5% in 2022. While still high by Swiss standards, it is well below the double-digit inflation rates in other advanced economies.
Yeah, because look at the UK. I mean, America ain't doing too bad. America heading down, right? So I guess my boy Joe is doing something. Okay. Anyways, hate politics, so screw that. But Euro, okay. Everybody kind of went up, steep it up, and then it kind of dip off. But Switzerland, they ain't really went up. And you guys were never up. We're never up. That's a 1%, 1.5%, 1.7%, and everybody else is 5 and above percent. So you guys been low.
Like the US, UK, and Eurozone.
So, what is it about the Swiss economy that means it's largely avoided rampant inflation? And what can other countries learn from it? There are multiple parts to Switzerland's inflationary story. For starters, prices in the country are already beginning from a high base.
Switzerland is one of the world's wealthiest countries, with a GDP per capita outstripping that of other major economies like the US, Japan, and Germany. It is also home to some of the richest citizens in the world, with an average wealth of nearly $700,000 per adult. And
Stay away from me. I am a peasant. Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh, wait, hold on. Average adult, you got 600 on you? That is crazy. What? No. Dude, that's average. Average. That's not the richest. That's the average. Holy smokes, bro. Like, what? Let me see something on Google, man. Let me see something on Google. Average adult wealth, USA. Huh? Why are you talking about pounds? What? I said wealth, not weight. They changed my thing to weight. What? Okay, this is so unfair, man. because this is saying the average net worth in 2022 was 1,063,000, bro. Like, it's not even the case for real, bro. That just made me even more depressed, bro, because the real folks ain't got that. It's the big boys who have so many bills that, oh my gosh, man. It got me mad now.
And a steep cost of living to match. In 2022, the Swiss cities of Zurich and Geneva held steady among the world's 10 most expensive cities, even as...
Oh, you holding with LA and you holding with New York? That's crazy. You expensive for real. Wow. It's kind of crazy that there's two California on here. Like San Francisco, California, Los Angeles, California, New York, we already know it. Very expensive. But, wow, didn't know. Copenhagen, Denmark, Paris, France. I'd imagine France would be expensive with all that tourist that's going on over there. But, yeah, to be number 6 and 7 on a top 10 most expensive cities to live in, yeah, that is expensive for real.
As inflation pushed up living costs in other pricey places like Singapore, New York, and Tel Aviv. Tobias
Wait, why is it so expensive in Singapore? I don't know much about Singapore, but what?
Is a professor of modern and economic history at the University of Zurich.
It's because people are, on average, quite rich. The share of food in the overall budget of households is not as big as maybe in other countries. We also have inequality, of course, but from an international perspective, we have, I think, a very well-functioning social policy.
As a result, Swiss citizens are generally less impacted by price hikes because they tend to spend a lower proportion of their income on essentials versus discretionary items such as
Look at that
spend
boy.
a lower proportion of their income on essentials.
I gotta be looking. Look at that. Whoo! I mean, the city do be looking clean. People do be looking like they got a little bread on them. I can't lie to you. They you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all doing something.
Versus discretionary items such as vacations and hobbies, which they can scale back when prices go up.
Another reason for Switzerland's relative price stability stems from the strong Swiss franc.
The country's currency has also steadily strengthened, rising in value against the
Oh yeah, because I saw that y'all practically was 1-on-1 with the US dollar. I was like, hey, what?
euro to reach parity in 2022. And while the US dollar strengthened against many major currencies in 2022, the Swiss franc held steady amid volatility in Europe. That's largely due to its status as a safe haven currency or defensive asset. The Swiss franc is heavily backed by large reserves of gold, bonds, and financial assets, which help the Swiss National Bank ensure the country's stability during times of volatility.
It's been a safe haven currency in times of crisis, and it actually started about 100 years ago after World War I. And of course, with the war and all that and COVID, the Swiss franc again was in much demand.
The strength of its currency is also beneficial for its economy, which is heavily dependent on international trade. In 2020, Switzerland imported around $300 billion worth of goods and services, the majority of
Wagon? Oh God! Wagon? The moment she said 300
Switzerland
billion, there was a
imported
wagon,
around
bro.
300 billion
300 billion. Right here. 300 billion. Just give about 2 more seconds.
dollars
One.
worth of goods and services.
2. Oh my gosh, the wagon went so fast.
Switzerland
For
imported
what?
around $300 billion worth of goods and services.
Bro, look at the wagon. That G-Wagon is probably 2015 or newer. There's no way that G-Wagon does not seem older than... Matter of fact, I can see the interior. That is not an old G-Wagon. That is absolutely not an old G-Wagon. Oh God. Switzerland be rich for real, huh? Yeah, they'd be rich for real. Like, that's crazy. G-Wagon is like 250, bro.
The majority of which come from neighbouring EU countries. A stronger Swiss franc, therefore, provides an effective discount on those imports. In the same year, Switzerland exported a near equal amount, but those tended to be higher value goods and services, such as watches and pharmaceuticals, which are less susceptible to price fluctuations than low-margin, mass-produced commodities.
Right.
Switzerland is also less exposed to some volatile external factors that pushed prices higher in 2022, such as soaring oil and gas prices caused by Russia's war in Ukraine.
Home to around 1,500 lakes and numerous rivers, hydropower plays a key role in Switzerland's energy production. Hydroelectricity accounts for more than a tenth of Switzerland's energy consumption, making the country less reliant on oil and gas imports than some of its European neighbours. Swiss energy suppliers are also largely publicly owned, which means they're less exposed to extreme market volatility through financial safety nets, but are also subject to more...
The waters look so good, but I can't lie to you, like, it just looks proper, man. This just looks like well built. Wow. Do you see the wordplay right there? Like, I'm trying to say it's well built, but it sounds like I'm saying well, like where water is at. Built, like the well was built. Damn, that wordplay is disgusting. Because, like, I want to say the well is built. It's well built. But it's, oh my gosh, that wordplay is horrible. But the water, man, I'm so amazed with the water in Switzerland. It's quite beautiful.
strict pricing regulation.
In Switzerland, we have a lot of state control of prices, which is kind of strange because you think of Switzerland as a very liberal country, but in the crucial areas like energy and rent, you have a lot of public controls. That means that the inflation rate is stretched over time. It doesn't mean that there is no inflation at all, but you can avoid that you have a certain short-term effect.
At the end of 2022, energy prices in Switzerland rose at a rate of 16.2%, below the levels faced by major peers like Germany, the Netherlands, the UK, and Italy. Switzerland's energy regulator now expects prices to rise by a further 27% in 2023, with the typical annual household bill topping 1,215 Swiss francs. Jean-Claude Huber is the manager of Hotel Pisbuin Cloisters in the east of Switzerland. He said standardization of long-term energy contracts have sheltered businesses like his from rising costs in 2023.
This year I'm not worried because the contract is till the end of the year. Afterwards it will go up by multiple 5 probably, so that's really a big increase. But okay, we will have to manage that.
The 4-star hotel's dynamic pricing structure also means that Huber has been able to pass on...
What the hell do y'all be doing with them damn water? Why the water always looking good? Dude, why the water look majestic, bro? It's just a pool. Nah, bro, that's probably the richest pool water I've ever seen, bro. It's
4-star hotels' dynamic pricing structure also means that Huber has been able to pass on price hikes of around 5 to 10% to the consumer without hurting demand.
We can absorb it because we can play with the rates much more than if you have fixed rates all the time, and that helps us a lot. If you take 2 or 3-star hotels, they will have much more problems because these people are very much more sensitive on the
price,
on the costs.
Alongside energy, Switzerland also has stringent controls around the price of goods and services, making it less susceptible to inflation-led price fluctuations.
Of the core products used to measure inflation in the Eurozone, including food, housing and transport, almost 1/3 are subject to price regulation in Switzerland, more than any other European country. High tariffs on certain agricultural imports also mean that domestically produced foods, such as milk and cheese, are preferentially priced and less impacted by movements in global food markets.
We try to buy as much as possible Swiss, but even regional, which really means bread, milk products and so on, to buy them locally. Long term, you want to have a local industry working, functioning, and you need farmers, so it's important that they can sell their products.
In December of 2022, Swiss food prices rose at an annualized rate of 4%. That compares with 11.9% in the US, 16.9% in the UK, and 19.8% in Germany.
And the restaurant, the food costs, we can adapt very easily in increasing the cost of the meals, but we're cautious also because you shouldn't exaggerate.
All of that doesn't mean Swiss consumers have been totally immune to recent price hikes, however. In fact, some say they're feeling the pinch more than ever. So where have you felt it most?
Energy prices, electricity.
Some groceries have gotten more expensive.
as usually, it's the poor people or the low wages that suffer from it, and they really have a problem.
Switzerland's central bank said it now expects inflation to dip to an average of 2.4% in 2023, before falling to 1.8% in 2024.
Even if we have kind of a recessionary scenario, people are still coming in, and that of course stabilizes demand. And I expect the same thing for this year, 2023, and probably also for 2024.
What, if anything, do you think other countries can learn from the Swiss model?
Exchange rate policies is very difficult to imitate because we have the euro, and the euro has to consider all countries, and I think for some countries an appreciation would be maybe good for import prices but really bad for export. This question about who owns energy production, maybe it's a good idea to think about to renationalize at least part of it, to be more resilient and to have a long-term owner who really looks for the consumer. In other places in Europe there was a clear shift to privatization, and in the medium short term that was a very good idea, but it's not very resilient, and they're haunted by these decisions now. At the time many people said the Swiss are too conservative, but I'd say in retrospect it was a very good decision.
I do believe that it's better. Some things are better private, some things are better government funded or owned. I think so, absolutely. I agree 100%. But shout out to the Swiss, man. You guys are doing it real differently, and it's quite obvious, and I'm proud of you guys. So keep doing it that way, and you know, don't ever lose that. Don't ever lose it. It's amazing what you guys have done, learning so much about the country. I'm impressed all around, all throughout, and it's amazing. So thank you guys for watching this video. I'm out of here. Peace.